Third Sunday, I'm front center, looking forward to playoffs. And I keep me a double wings, cause you know I gotta have it. Yeah, they say I'm just a fan. What? Well, I say I'm a fanatic. And I fast forward commercial too. I ain't going to the bathroom. You know where I'm at, I ain't hard to find. You can catch me in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Thursday Night Football overtime. Giants, Patriots, far from Super Bowl whatever in 2007 and 2011. Long ways away from both of those teams. And you know what's funny is if you want to talk to me about this New England Patriots team, I'll listen. But what you're not going to do, and look, if you're going to give them credit for doing what they're supposed to do, which is beat up on the little sisters of the poor and the lesser teams in this league, go right ahead. I don't have any problems with that. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, all right? You put a bum in front of them, they're supposed to slay that bum, and that's what they've done 6 times this season. Except, 5 times this season, because I actually think the Buffalo Bills are actually really good, especially that damn defense. But outside of the Buffalo Bills, who have the Patriots beaten this season? And let's look at these quarterbacks that they've destroyed. And don't talk to me about the Patriots are on pace to have one of the best defenses ever. Don't talk to me about that. Please don't. Save your breath. If you're going to talk to me about that, I'm just going to walk away from you. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't want to talk to you, okay? Save that nonsense for somebody who isn't watching football, okay? If you're talking to somebody with half a brain that's actually been paying attention, then don't have that whole Patriots on pace to have one of the best defenses statistically in NFL history, okay? Listen to this list of quarterbacks that they've won against, all right? And I'm just doing this off the top of my brain. I may omit somebody, but bear with me. Okay, week 1, I think they played Pittsburgh. That's the best quarterback they faced, and that was a disinterested, for whatever reason, Pittsburgh Steelers football team. And we didn't know the Steelers were going to be 1-4 and Roethlisberger was going to go down a week later and they were going to struggle this season. But at that time, we thought the Steelers were going to be a good team. And I said, don't put the Steelers against the Patriots in week 1 on ring night. Don't do it. It's not going to be a good game, and it wasn't. But that's nor here nor there. The following week, they got the Dolphins. All right, they got Josh Rosen. Woo! That's a tough one. All right. The week after that, they get the Jets, and not the Sam Darnold edition of the Jets. No, they get the Luke Falk edition of the Jets. Yeah, that's a really tough one, man. The following week after that, they get the Bills. Now, Josh Allen threw 3 picks in that game, but we've seen Josh Allen throw 3 picks and still come back and lead his team to a victory. He did it in week 1 versus Jets. And it may have been 2 picks in that game, but it wasn't pretty, but it was gritty and it was a dub. And he was on pace and on track to do it again until he got knocked out of the game. So you know who they had to face the end of that game? Matt Barkley. All right? Go get him, Tiger. All right? Then they got to face Colt McCoy and the Washington Redskins. Ooh, shaking in my boots. Man, this defense they're really putting it to some teams, man. Man, they are really lighting it up. And then tonight they got Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Danny Dimes, a.k.a. Danny Crimes. Because the bullshit he was doing, he should have been arrested for tonight. He's a rookie, so I'm not going to kill him. But don't talk to me about this defense, all right? And honestly speaking, I've watched them all season long, haven't been impressed with them on either side of the football. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like if you put a good enough offense in front of them, you can exploit them. And I feel like if you put, and we've seen it already, this offense is not very good. All right, you saw it tonight. This offense is not very good. Tom Brady has not been sharp. You know that first pick he threw to Janoris Jenkins? What the hell was he doing on that play? Like, miss me with the Patriots talk. This has been the most unimpressive 6-0 Patriots team I've ever seen. And there have been 4 of them. And I haven't seen one that has looked this lackluster, for lack of a better term. I'm not blown away by any one facet of their game, maybe except special teams and not the kicking portion, but rather the blocking portion, as in blocking punts. That's the one thing they've done really good this year is block punts. But they can't kick field goals. Their field goal kicker, Stephen Gostkowski, out for the season with a hip injury. And I'm telling them right now, as I told the Bears last year, you better run for the hills and find you a better damn kicker than Ted Nugent. I know his name's Mike Nugent. Ted Nugent stinks. Get you a new goddamn kicker. He's going to blow some shit for you. I'm telling you right now. It's okay for him to miss extra points, and not like Stephen Gostkowski was tearing shit up before he got hurt. I think he had missed an extra point in 3 of the first 4 games of the season. So it's not like he was killing it either. But anyway, the Patriots haven't been able to run the football all that effectively. The last couple of weeks, they've gotten their act together, but respectively against the Redskins and the Giants, again, these aren't teams that are at the top of the list of good defenses in the league, but they haven't been able to run the football consistently. Brady hasn't been all that sharp. He's been sacked. They don't have a lot of weaponry on offense. It was amazing. You looked at this team in week 2, and you're like, man, this is stealing. They got Antonio Brown. They got Josh Gordon. They got Tom Brady. They got Sony Michel. This is cheating. They got James White. They got Julian Edelman. What in the hell? Now you look at this team and you're like, not really afraid of Josh Gordon right now, and he got hurt tonight. Edelman's cool, still doing his thing, but he's been banged up all season long. And don't have a tight end from which to speak of. They cut Benjamin Watson for whatever reason. I don't know. But I look at the running backs and I'm like, So I look at this offense. I'm like, offensive line is average to below average. Not really afraid of their offense. Then I look at the defense and I'm like, defense is pretty solid. It's not a great unit. They do some really good things. They're just a smart group that does what they're supposed to do and are where they're supposed to be. But I'm not saying, and I'm far from a Patriot hater. If you've watched me for any amount of time, you know what I am. You know, I shoot straight from the hip, man. I have nothing against the Patriots. And honestly speaking, I'm just not blown away and I'm not impressed. They're 6-0. Their schedule is about to ratchet up. Come talk to me if they're 12-0. And then I'll tell you, I was wrong about the Patriots. This is a really good football team. But I'm telling you right now, shit's about to get real in the field for these boys. They about to really play some good football teams. And the one team that they played that was really good, they actually probably should have lost that game. They're a blocked punt away from losing to the Buffalo Bills. A Josh Allen injury away from losing to the Buffalo Bills. I feel that way. I really do. So, not really impressed with these boys. The Redskins, believe it or not, were actually in that game until the Redskins woke up and realized, what are we doing with the damn Redskins? All right. The Giants were in this game. Okay. It was 14-14. And literally it happened in the blink of an eye. All right. And the Giants had ample opportunities to really, really make this a football game. And they just refused to do so. A lot of it is because they got a rookie quarterback. And half of their team was out. And they were still in this game. No Evan Ingram. All right? No Saquon Barkley. No Sterling Shepard. And yet they were still right there. So I'm not blown away by the Patriots. I've said it once. I'll say it again. They're a solid ball club. They do everything right. And that's why they're going to win most games. Because they're just going to wait for you to make your mistakes. They're going to try to stay as clean as possible. They may make a mistake here or there. And you can afford to do that when you're playing the little sisters of the poor, as I mentioned. Last week, they were far from clean against the Redskins. Failed 4th down conversion, interception in the red zone. They were horrible at times. Missed an extra point. They did a lot of things that if you're playing good teams, you can't get away with. Gave up a 65-yard rushing touchdown on a play with poor missed tackling. Yeah, if they were playing someone actually good last week, they might have lost. But they were playing the Redskins. If they were playing a team that wasn't a walking, wounded mass unit, maybe they lose tonight. But they've been fortunate. And I don't understand how the schedule makers saw fit to put 6 cupcake games in front of them. I got to stop saying that. 4 cupcake games, because no one knew that the Steelers were going to be trash. I didn't like the spot in week 1. I said that before the season started. I doubled down on it the week of and then tripled down on it after the game was over and said this was a mistake. I like my Patriots and Steelers late in the season. Although this year probably would have been trash and meaningless, still like it at the end of the season where it belongs. That's when we get good Steelers Patriots. But that's nor here nor there. The Bills were a real test for them, and they almost failed that test. Should have failed that test. But that's nor here nor there. Bottom line is the Patriots are 6-0. They've done what they were supposed to do. They took care of the teams that the schedule presented to them and the league put in front of them. But I'm just not blown away. I don't want to hear about this all-time defense because this defense is good. It's not great. They don't blow me away. And as they start to play the better teams on their schedule, Dallas and Philadelphia, and they start to play the Chiefs and all of these teams that can score and can move the football, we're going to see just how good this defense really is. Okay? As they start to play some of the better teams on their schedule. And it's about to happen. All right? I think they get one more soft cupcake-ass game, and then after that, this might have been the last one. But I know it's about to ratchet up here in a second. And we're going to find out just how good they really are. And I think they're going to lose 2 or 3 games in this little stretch that's coming up. If they don't lose, boy, they're going to be on the brink of losing. All right? So, I mean, how many times have we seen double-digit favorites in the NFL like this? The Patriots have been a 20-something, point favorite. I think they were against the Jets or against the Dolphins. They were like 17 or 18 against the Jets, 22 or something crazy like that, 24 against the Dolphins, another 17, 16-point favorite versus the Redskins, and they probably were every bit of, 14, 17, 18 points again tonight. I mean, that's how their schedule has looked thus far. Give me a break. As for the Giants, you got to give them credit. They competed their ass off tonight. I mean, 3 interceptions, a fumble, and a block punt. That's what it took for them to get their asses blown out tonight. And up until, and this is the 3rd time I think the Patriots have been in a dogfight until the 4th quarter this season. Where the game, if you didn't watch the game, you just woke up, you looked at the box score and said, oh, okay, Patriots did what they were supposed to do. But you really had to watch the game to understand that this was 21-14 in the 4th quarter. And then this game just got away from the Giants. Last week against the Redskins, you're talking about a 12-7 game. I think it was 9-7, 12-7 at half. Ample opportunities for the Redskins to make plays, and they just couldn't because they're not a good football team. And then you look at the game tonight, they looked like they were well on their way to a blowout. After the block punt, things started to go downhill for the Giants. It's 14-0. And then all of a sudden, it's 14-14, just like that. They get a touchdown right before half after another mindless interception thrown by Daniel Jones. But if you're the Giants, I tip my cap to the Giants, man. I thought they were going to get blown out. I was actually looking forward to this game being over at the mid portion of the 3rd quarter. And I could jump on, talk about how it was an ass whooping, get the stream over quickly and go on about my business. And they just refused to go away quietly into the night. They made this a ball game. And for them to be as short, their running back is Hilliman, for crying out loud. Hilliman is their running back. Hilliman. Who the hell is Hilliman? All right? Look at their skill players. They've got a bunch of nobodies out there, and they fought their asses off and gave it a run. Their defense, say what you want. And I told you, I'm not all that impressed with the Patriots offense. They hung tough. They're a Jacoby Myers back shoulder catch off the turf away from going into halftime potentially tied or right there, down 17-14. or that catch might have been at the beginning of the second half. And like I said, they were right there. They competed their asses off in this game. I got to give them credit. I didn't expect this game to be nearly as close as it was. They forced a fumble of Brady, scoop it up and score. They picked Brady off. This thing could have gotten out of control early, and they refused to go away. Golden Tate finally made his presence felt after doing next to nothing last week in his first game as a Giant after coming off the suspension. 6 catches, over $1 in this game with a touchdown grab. They hung tough, but they're the Giants. They're banged up, and unfortunately, they just ran out of gas. And that's essentially what the Patriots have been doing. And again, I got to give them credit for this. They wait teams out. They wait till you run out of gas. You're going to run out of fuel at some point because you're just not good enough. And they're going to finally pull away and win the game. And they're going to cover the spread like they're supposed to. And that's what they've done pretty much each of the last 2 weeks. And going back to a few weeks ago against the Jets, that's what they've been doing. That's how they've been covering the spread. Hang around, teams hang around, and then they're going to pull away eventually. And so they took care of business tonight. Win by 21, cover the spread. 35-14, go to 6-0 on the season. I feel like that is the most illusionary. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to go with that. It's the most illusionary mirage 6-0 I've ever seen before. But like I said, they've got some toughies coming up. We're going to find out just how good these Patriots really are. And I'm looking forward to finding out if they're for real or not. They got the Ravens coming up. I don't really know if the Ravens are as good as I thought they were going to be, especially defensively. They're not the team I thought they were going to be. Still going to be a tough test for this Patriots team. They think they're going to make them work. They got the Chiefs coming up. They got the Cowboys coming up eventually. They got the Eagles coming up. Shit's about to get real for them. Looking forward to it. So, in any event, I'm done ranting and raving. Let's get to some comments, man, and see what you guys have to say. Maybe you don't feel the same way I do. I don't know. I'm just talking. Like I said, I just feel like a lot of people are giving a lot of credit to this Patriots football team, and rightfully so at 6-0. But don't talk to me about all-time defense, this, that, and the third. And I'll take it a step further. I'm not that moved by this Patriots offense. If you're telling me that Jacoby Myers and Gunnar Olshansky or whatever the hell the punt returner's name is, if they're relying on those guys to beat me and sprinkling a little bit of Izzo, yeah, you better hope Gronk comes back. And I still think he is going to come back. But, yeah, you need help. That shit doesn't scare any goddamn body. Damn sure doesn't scare me. Anyway, let's see. J. Camman says, Patriots look human, but they're still 6-0. They are quietly trying to get an undrafted year, and I don't know who will beat them. They're going to lose games. Trust me. For sure. Let's see. Blackbird Blitz says, okay. I got you. All right, let's see. Black Albie says, Pats get the Jets, Browns, and Ravens next 3. 3 wins. Only the Ravens might give them fits. Well, I can say this. I think Sam Darnold is going to play this week, so that will give them a chance to be somewhat competitive. You're probably right, though. You're probably right. The Browns will be competitive, I think. I never know what Browns team is going to actually show up. So there's that. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so that's it. I don't really see any comments. So yeah, as I mentioned, bottom line is the Patriots have a schedule that was very favorable to them. You know, I'm disappointed in the NFL personally, and obviously they don't know who's going to be good, who's not going to be good, but come on, man. I mean, they could have put the Cowboys up front. They could have put the Browns up front. They could have put the Eagles up front. They pretty much backloaded their schedule, gave the Patriots a chance to get off to a really good start. I mean, for honestly speaking, I would prefer it if they took 4 of their 6 divisional games and just backloaded them. Because we know their division is going to stink. Buffalo, and I thought the Jets would be more competitive. Obviously, we couldn't have foreseen the mono that Sam Darnold was going to get. But I knew the Dolphins were going to be one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in football. So why are they playing the Dolphins early in the season? Backload the Dolphins, and I would have preferred them to just give them one Jets game, one Bills game, and backload the rest of those division games, and just start front-loading their schedule with good football teams. Make them earn it. That literally gave them a running start. Now they get to run away from everybody. They got a 6-0 start, and if they drop a couple of games down the stretch, who cares? And they could easily have and we don't know. This Chiefs team looks vulnerable all of a sudden, and you look around, the Colts aren't what they were going to be without Andrew Luck, and the Chargers, I told you I didn't think they were going to be good. I don't think they're going to be good, and they're struggling already. The Steelers aren't the Steelers this year. They could have the entire AFC conference wrapped up by week 12 because of the start they've gotten off to. I mean, they could literally go and run and hide. If the Chiefs don't get their act together, the Patriots could literally run away with this thing. And I believe they play the Chiefs in Foxborough again. So that's going to be a tough ask of the Chiefs to come into Foxborough and win. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Atlas says, what needs to happen to finally get good officiating in the NFL, he said, it's so baffling to me. I mean, look, the officials do the best job they can. It's a tough job, and the league doesn't make it any easier by, throwing in stupid stuff like giving coaches the opportunity to challenge pass interference. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Ed says after the bye week they got tough, the Patriots. I guess he's saying their schedule gets tough. It is what it is. Like I said, I think the Patriots schedule, I know it's going to get tough at some point. I don't know exactly when. As a matter of fact, let's pull up their schedule. All right. Just for the sake of looking. I want to see what this schedule actually looks like. Because at some point I know they've got the Eagles, they've got the Cowboys, they've got the Chiefs, they've got the Ravens. So let's see what the Patriots schedule looks like this season, and then we'll get out of here. So they've got the Jets coming up. I told you they had one more cupcake. So they got the Jets on a Monday night, no less, coming up. They're going to win that game. Then they got the Browns at home. I think that could, and that's, what's today's date? The 10th. So yeah, they don't have a bye week yet. So then they get the Browns, the Ravens. So Browns at home, Ravens on the road. So this is when it starts to get interesting. The Browns game is when it starts to get interesting. I think they're going to win that game. But Browns at home, then the Ravens the following week at Baltimore. That could be a loss. Then they go on the bye. After they come off the bye, and I think this is what Ed was saying right here. After they come off the bye, at the Eagles, home for the Cowboys, at the Texans, home for the Chiefs. Then they get a cupcake at Cincinnati, but then they go home for the Bills, and then home for the Dolphins. So it does start to ratchet up. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game stretch there where shit gets real for them, especially after the bye week, where you get into a 4-game stretch of at Eagles, home for the Cowboys, at Texans, home for the Chiefs. That's when it gets really real for them. And you're going to find out how good they are. But by that time, they could easily be 10-0. I mean, seriously. Looking at the schedule, they're going to beat the Jets, get to 7-0. They're probably going to beat the Browns, get to 8-0. And then that's when you start to really see things tighten up for them. Ravens, Eagles, Cowboys, Texans, Chiefs. So they could easily roll into that portion of their schedule at 8-0 with a ton of confidence and a bunch of momentum. Ridiculous. But I digress. So Gregory Lightbody says, I'm so disappointed in football this season. Actually, I haven't been that disappointed. The games have been really good. We've had a pretty good slate of primetime games. There was a little stretch there where it was Monday night and Thursday night that were really, really good games. You had the first Monday night game of the season with the Texans and the Saints was a really good game. The Eagles and the Packers game was really good on Thursday night. We got a really good the finish to Tampa and Carolina was really exhilarating. It wasn't necessarily the best game, but it was a good finish. You got a really good Sunday night game, I believe. Yeah, Eagles and Falcons was a good Sunday night game. So we had a little stretch there where there were some really good games. I'm missing one game I think was really good. I can't remember if it was a Thursday or a Sunday. Monday night has been sketchy at best. I think Monday night has been really disappointing. You had one game, and that was the first game. All the rest of them, for the most part, have been pretty much blowouts. I don't think we've had too many competitive games on Monday night. But, yeah, it is. I've had fun watching football this year. So, anyway, that being said, Patriots get the win 35-14 over the New York Giants. They're now 6-0 on the season. The Giants put up a hell of a fight with half of their squad out and shorthanded on short week. They gave it a run. This game was 14-14 at one point. And then the Patriots over the final 2 quarters essentially of this game, 21 unanswered points to run away and win this game 35-14. The score doesn't really do this game justice. The Giants hung in there, and the Patriots just wore them down with turnovers. Essentially, the Giants, 4 turnovers and a block punt that went for a touchdown. Impossible to win in this league against teams that are already better than you when you're turning it over. New York Giants. So Giants fall to 2-4 on the season. Patriots they advance to 6-0, and we'll see what happens moving forward. This is going to be an interesting week of football. I think it's one of those weeks where I could easily. That's 2 Thursday night games after losing the first 4, and I couldn't get right on Thursday night. That's 2 in a row. I honestly believe this is a make or break week for me in terms of picking games. I'm starting to get hot. This is the week where I find out if I'm really getting hot and I'm figuring some shit out, or it's a mirage, similar to this Patriots 6-0 start. I could easily go. It's 14 games on the slate. I could easily go 10-4 this week, which I would be really pleased with. Or I could easily go 7-7. I picked some games. I went out on a limb. We're going to see what happens. But in any event, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. I thank you guys for joining me on this program. Looking forward to the slate of games this Sunday. Should be a lot of fun. Redskins, Dolphins, the Toilet Bowl, among other games. But there are going to be some interesting games on the slate. Seattle at Cleveland is one I've got my eye on. You look at some of the other games on the schedule. I'm trying to think, what's another game? I think that Detroit Green Bay game on Monday night is going to be a pretty damn good game. Detroit's better than we thought they were going to be this season. And the Packers still aren't quite 100%. Rams hosting the 49ers. That's one of those This is still my block type of games where the new kid on the block is like, yo, we ready to take over. And the Rams, losers of 2 straight, I might add, if they serious about holding on to what they think is theirs, you got to show the new kids on the block that you still the bullies on that block. So that's a massive game in the NFC West. Like I said, this is going to be a really, really interesting week of football. Can't wait to see how some of these games turn out. But in any event, I'm your man, Louie T. Signing off. If it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Take care.
Louie T Network.